Isiah Thomas, small and severely undersized, standing at 5 feet 9 inches tall. But at the peak of his powers was a lightning-quick, dynamic scorer and a go-to guy during his prime. Even finished near the top of the MVP voting in 2017. Led the Boston Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals. This guy was an incredible scorer, but sadly as of this recording his career looks to be over. He's currently out of the league and now desperately looking for a team. What happened to this explosive scorer, and why is he still unsigned? DeMarcus Cousins, aka Boogie Cousins, also a gifted scorer, a beast down in the low post, exceptional passer for a big man. Cousins was a walking 2010 player in his prime. Even got the best of legends like Tim Duncan, KG, and Dwight Howard. The last couple of years, Boogie has been bouncing from team to team. How does such a talented big man like Cousins become a liability and essentially useless today, and also as of this recording remain unsigned? Let's start this video about Isiah Thomas. After playing 3 years of college ball at the University of Washington, Isiah Thomas was the 60th and last pick in the 2011 NBA draft by the Sacramento Kings. Most second-round picks hardly get to see the court and are out of the league within a few years, but Isiah would defy the odds. He had a solid rookie season for a terrible Kings team that only managed to win 22 games. With that being said, Isiah was one of the bright spots on the team, averaging 11.5 points and 4 assists per game, including 37 starts, and finished the season on the second all-rookie team. Not only did he prove he belonged in the NBA, but also that his size was not going to deter him from contributing to a team. Isiah was possibly the steal of the draft. It was in his third season when he put the NBA on notice, making just about every team that passed up on him regret their decisions. Each and every year Isiah is getting better, improving his scoring output. He would finish averaging 20.3 points and 6.3 assists in his third year, and even drew comparisons to Kyrie Irving, the first pick in the 2011 draft. Even after a spectacular year in Sacramento, the Kings did not show much interest in re-signing Isiah and only view him as a sixth man. Sacramento wanted to build around big man DeMarcus Cousins and felt that Isiah held the ball too much in his hands, making it hard to run the offense around Cousins. Isiah himself wanted a bigger role in the Kings' young squad, and because of these different views, Isiah ultimately ended up in Phoenix. With the Suns, he played behind Eric Bledsoe and Goran Dragic. However, this trio of 3 undersized guards didn't mesh well, and Isiah was traded to the Celtics in February of 2015. Going to Boston was a blessing from the skies. This is where his career took off and he became part of a winning organization. In his second year with Boston, Isiah became a full-time starter, the leader of the team, and an all-star for the first time. In 2017, Isiah had his best year. He averaged a career-high 28.9 points and 5.9 assists per game. He shot 38% from three-point land and 90% from the free throw line. Led the Celtics to 53 wins and the best record in the East, and finished 5th in MVP voting. Isiah had one of the most incredible playoff performances ever when he erupted for 53 points in Game 2 of the second round against the Washington Wizards on his sister's birthday, who tragically passed away 2 weeks ago in a car accident. That was just simply amazing. Can you imagine the roller coaster ride he went through those last couple of days? And just as quickly as he rose to fame, everything came tumbling down twice as fast. Unfortunately, that was the peak of his career. As the playoff continued, Isiah's hip started to bother him. After playing the first 2 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, he was sidelined for the remainder of the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and his team did not stand a chance. Initially, Isiah's injury took place in March of 2017 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The team's medical staff misdiagnosed his injury, calling it a bone bruise when it was much worse. Much worse. And because of this misdiagnosis, Isiah's career would never be the same. He never got the big contract that a superstar deserved, and the Celtics traded him to the Cleveland Cavaliers in the summer of 2017. He only played 15 games for the Cavaliers before being dealt to the Lakers at the trade deadline. And this was essentially the end of his career. In 4 seasons since the injury, Thomas appeared in a grand total of 87 games for 5 different teams, the most recent being the Pelicans on a 10-day contract in this past season. In 2017, Isiah Thomas, 28 years old, was ready to challenge LeBron James for the crown in the East, and now he's playing in rec leagues, fighting for one last chance at NBA glory. Like I mentioned before, Isiah is currently unsigned, but is rumored to having workouts with a few teams. If playing for the Pelicans was the last time he stepped on an NBA court, how tragic would this be? I certainly feel for him. Now let's turn our attention to DeMarcus Cousins. After 1 year at Kentucky, Cousins was the 5th pick in the 2010 draft by the Sacramento Kings. Boogie finished his first year on the NBA All-Rookie First Team. Cousins was a big man who had a soft touch and could score inside and outside. Another thing that set him apart from other big men was his court vision. He was a superb passer for his size. Individually, Boogie was a tremendous player, but during his tenure in Sacramento, the Kings were an awful team, only winning 36% of their games each year, which is roughly 30 wins a season. Despite the losing, Boogie had some incredible performances as a Sacramento King, including a triple-double, 24 points, 20 rebounds, and 13 assists versus the Pelicans. In another game, Boogie had his career high, 56 points and 12 boards versus Charlotte. Overall, he averaged 21.1 points, 10.8 rebounds, 1.8 blocks during his Kings tenure. Cousins was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans in 2017, right before the trade deadline. How ironic was it that Cousins played in the All-Star game in New Orleans and then got traded essentially right after the game ended to the Pelicans? If you're Boogie, do you even fly back to Sacramento? In many ways, the Kings did a terrible job of building around Boogie. Every lottery pick after Cousins was drafted became a bust. Thomas Robinson in 2012, Ben McLemore in 2013, Nick Stauskas in 2014, Willie Cauley-Stein in 2015. Of all the guys I just mentioned, Cauley-Stein is the only guy still in the league. Tyreke Evans, who had a sensational rookie year in 2009 for the Kings, regressed and never got better. Also, getting rid of Isiah Thomas did not help either. In New Orleans, Boogie and Anthony Davis became their modern-day twin towers, but their tenure together was short-lived when Boogie ruptured his Achilles in January of 2018, while hustling to grab a loose ball after a missed free throw against the Houston Rockets. Sadly, Cousins is done for the season and never quite became his old self after this injury. An Achilles tear is a deadly injury, and Cousins, who was a free agent at the end of the season, received minimal interest from NBA teams. He would eventually sign a 1-year deal with the Warriors in hopes of winning his first ring, but that did not end well. Golden State would lose to the Raptors in the 2019 NBA Finals. Adding an ACL tear in the summer of 2019 and bouncing between a few teams, as of this recording, Boogie remains unsigned after playing a minimal role for the LA Clippers this past season. While Boogie may still be a viable second or third string backup center, at this point in his career and given the pace of today's game, I don't see Boogie making much of an impact on any team, if he's lucky enough to get picked up. This is a sad and tragic way for two guys that started their career in Sacramento to potentially come to an end. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell notification so you never miss a video. Have a fantastic day.